Good afternoon, everyone. This is Woody Collins, and it is another day of talking about Congo. And today we're going to talk about the Grameen Danone social business and how it got started. Hey, Tim, how you doing there? It's good to see you. Good to see you today. I'm taking your advice and walking outside. You've had some lovely pictures of Pennsylvania. So I am doing the same thing. All right. So we're going to talk about the social business that started with Grameen. And what that was, it was the number one is, as we remember, that your social business needs to solve a problem. And that social business was to solve the problem of malnutrition among children in Bangladesh. So they, uh, by circumstance, Grameen reached out to Dr. Yunus while he was in Paris one day, uh, and they had a meeting. And Dr. Yunus says he threw it out on the table and just thought that uh, that he would pose the idea and see what they say. Well, it turned out that the president of the CEO of of Danone Yogurt was also interested in doing something socially responsible. So they decided at that point in time they would look at it and start it. Well, within 3 months, they had people on the ground in Bangladesh studying the problem, looking at a site, and doing all their prep work. It did extensive research on what was available and what was not available. Sorry about that. I decided I was going to sit down today a little bit. And they researched it and said, okay, there's nothing on the market, even though people in Bangladesh ate yogurt, but it was not something that they uh, thought about for children's nutrition. So they came up with the idea of children nutrition and get that started. They built a factory there in the countryside. So they had to have electricity with solar power and everything. They built it to specifications in order to serve that market. And one of the things that they did was build it in the area where the poor people was. So therefore, people thought, number one, thought of it as their factory. Uh, Also, as people thought of it as their factory, they thought that would, endear them to the yogurt. They did some testing on different yogurt to get the taste just right. They fortified it so that it would help the nutrition of children. They also had researchers come in and after they had introduced it to make sure that it was achieving the results that they had anticipated, and it was. So they went through a lot of growing pains as to who they were going to use. Grameen had already who they was going to use to sell it. Grameen had already started these women selling phone credits and different stuff like that. So they had a ready market. The women knew the people. They knew what families was probably needed this type of yogurt, and they went house to house selling yogurt. And they made it profitable for the women to sell it so that they could make money from it and also it would be helpful to the community in start in solving the problem of child nutrition. So that's the idea that a social business number one is to solve a problem, and the problem they chose was to solve child nutrition. Number two is it had to be profitable. What they eventually had to do was take some of their products to actually take it to the city, the bigger cities, and sell it, and they sold it at a higher price to help subsidize the sale of the product in the in the poor area of the country at a lower price. So that's how they was finally able to make it uh, sustainable, and it was unique, trial and error, and it took a time, 2 to 3 years to get it fully in operation and going. So what could we do like that in the Congo? One of the things that they have started, and they have only come in to do it during when there was severe child malnutrition. They came in, some of the NGOs, international NGOs, brought in what they call Pompey nut. It's a peanut based, ready to use therapeutic food, RUTF, ready to use therapeutic food. And they've had great results. Number one is most of the people in Congo, and they have a lot of peanuts, they have peanuts there, and people eat peanuts. However, for some reason, they do not eat peanut butter. When I'm there, I have to go buy peanut butter. We finally got some people to actually make peanut butter for us. And we thought, okay, if they see us eating peanut butter, they would change and and start eating peanut butter. But no, we're probably we the expats are the only one that eats peanut butter. Nobody, they sell it in a couple of stores, but it's not something that the Congolese they would rather eat the peanut. But as for a child, a baby cannot eat peanuts like we can, where we chew them up and get the nutritional value out of them. So I think peanut, this pampa nut would work, and it's since there's a large supply of peanuts. Peanuts is one of the crops that they grow there. That people could start making this pampa nut for children and getting them to use it. It just needs to be developed and started into a business. Uh, Probably, since they sell peanuts, people would probably buy the pumpernickel because they know you don't get peanuts for sale. I mean, peanuts for free. And if once you told them that it will make their children's healthier and not malnourished, that would also be of a great value to it. So that's an idea, but that's the type of things that we're looking for as we talk about social businesses in the Congo. Uh, Something that solves a problem to help the poor. Number two, it also must be sustainable. And the sustainable part would be how you get that to be, what's the pricing is going to have to be. You can buy peanuts, then you're going to have to manufacture them, et cetera, et cetera. But we hope that they can, at some point in time, make it profitable. So that's my idea from uh, from Grameen Danone, and that's the big yogurt company out of France. And they entered into that agreement with Grameen, and it has been a very profitable, both from the standpoint of a sustainable business and also from the fact of a um, solving a problem. So thank y'all for checking it out. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate you coming, stopping by today. And I know I haven't been on a shout out for quite a while, but thank you all, and thanks people who catch it on the replay. We appreciate it, and we will talk with you later. Take care, and and let's get this pandemic under control. We need to do that because for a number of reasons. You know, wash your hands, wear your mask, and also socially distance yourself. But as Tim would say, you can always dance by yourself. Now I'm actually going to go on my walk.